Creatine is the most researched supplement in fitness history. Over 50% of professional athletes use it. It makes you stronger, builds muscle faster, and might even make you smarter. But what actually happens to your body when you start taking it? Here's the day-by-day breakdown of your first 30 days. Creatine is a substance your body naturally produces and stores in your muscles. About 95% lives in your muscle tissue. The other 5%? Your brain. We'll get to that later. Your muscles use creatine as an indirect energy source during high-intensity activities. Think heavy squats, explosive sprints, or max-effort deadlifts. Anything that requires short bursts of power. Here's the key. Supplementing with creatine can increase your muscle creatine stores by about 30% above baseline levels. That means your muscles have more fuel to power through tough sets, leading to more strength, more reps, and more muscle growth over time. Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch. Creatine doesn't work equally for everyone. About 20 to 30% of people naturally walk around with nearly full creatine stores. These people are called non-responders. They take creatine and experience little to no benefit. It's not that the supplement is fake, but their muscles are already maxed out. On the flip side, people with naturally lower creatine levels, especially vegetarians, experience massive benefits. Their baseline is lower, so supplementation makes a huge difference. So if you try creatine and don't feel anything, it's not a failure. It just means your genetics are already giving you what creatine would provide. Consider yourself lucky, but for the other 70 to 80% of people, the next 30 days are going to be interesting. Days 1 to 7, the saturation phase. When you first start taking creatine, your muscles aren't immediately saturated. It takes time for the creatine to build up in your system. How long depends on your approach. There are 2 ways to start taking creatine. Option 1, the loading phase. You take a high dose every day, usually 20 grams split into 4 5-gram servings for 5 to 7 days. This rapidly saturates your muscles. By day 7, you're fully loaded and ready to experience the benefits. Option 2, the non-loading phase. You take a standard maintenance dose, usually 3 to 5 grams per day, from the start. This slowly increases your creatine levels over time. Full saturation takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Both methods get you to the same place, but the side effects differ. Side effect number 1, water retention and weight gain. The most common and noticeable effect during the first week is water retention. When creatine enters your muscle cells, it pulls water in with it. This isn't a bad thing. It actually makes your muscles look fuller and more volumized, but it does cause a small spike in body weight. Research suggests most people gain 1 to 3 pounds during the saturation phase. If you're loading, that weight appears almost overnight in the first week. If you're not loading, the gain is more gradual over 2 to 3 weeks. This isn't fat, it's intramuscular water, and it's a sign the creatine is working. Side effect number 2, elevated creatinine levels. This one's important if you're getting blood work done. Creatinine, not creatine but creatinine, is a breakdown product of creatine. When you supplement with creatine, your creatinine levels naturally increase slightly. Here's why that matters. High creatinine levels can indicate kidney dysfunction. So if you get a blood test and your creatinine is elevated, your doctor might be concerned. But here's the truth. Creatine has been consistently proven safe for healthy individuals. The elevated creatinine is a normal byproduct of supplementation, not a sign of kidney damage. Just make sure your doctor knows you're taking creatine before they interpret your results. Days 7 to 14, full saturation unlocked. By the end of week 1, or week 2 to 3 if you skipped loading, your muscles are fully saturated with creatine. This is when the real benefits start kicking in. Benefit number 1, strength increase. The most immediate and noticeable effect is increased strength across your lifts. A meta-analysis reviewing 22 studies found that trained lifters experience an average 8% boost in strength and a 14% increase in the number of reps they can perform at a given weight. That might not sound like much, but it adds up fast. If you're benching 200 pounds for 8 reps, an 8% strength increase could push you to 216 pounds. A 14% rep increase could take you from 8 reps to 9 or 10. And here's the best part. Less experienced lifters see even bigger gains. One study showed untrained individuals experienced a 30% performance increase from creatine. That's the difference between benching 100 pounds and benching 130 pounds, just from supplementation. Even if you're already strong, that 8 to 14% boost is massive. Over time, those extra reps and pounds translate into significantly more muscle growth. Benefit number 2, faster recovery. A study surveying 52 NCAA athletes found that 81% reported faster recovery between training sessions as one of the main benefits they noticed after taking creatine. This makes sense. Creatine helps your muscles regenerate ATP, your body's primary energy molecule, faster. More, ATP means quicker recovery between sets and between workouts. If you've ever felt like you couldn't train as hard because you were still sore from the previous session, creatine might solve that problem. Benefit number 3, better muscle fullness. Remember that water retention we talked about earlier? It doesn't just increase your scale weight, it also makes your muscles look and feel fuller. This is one of the reasons bodybuilders and physique competitors use creatine. The intramuscular water gives your muscles a more pumped, volumized appearance without adding fat. You won't look puffy or bloated. You'll look bigger and more muscular. Days 14 to 30, the cognitive edge. Here's where creatine gets really interesting. Most people know creatine builds muscle, but fewer people know it also affects your brain. Your brain is one of the most metabolically active organs in your body. It's constantly burning energy, and it relies heavily on creatine to function. In fact, when children are born with creatine deficiency in the brain, they suffer severe cognitive impairments. Creatine isn't optional for brain health, it's essential. When healthy adults supplement with creatine, brain creatine levels can increase by up to 10%, and that small increase has measurable effects on cognitive performance. A systematic review found that creatine supplementation consistently improves short-term memory and performance on intelligence tests. The benefits are even more pronounced under stress, like when you're sleep-deprived or mentally exhausted. And just like with muscle creatine, vegetarians and vegans experience the biggest cognitive boost because their baseline levels are lower. So if you notice yourself thinking more clearly, remembering things better, or staying focused longer after a couple weeks of creatine, that's not a placebo, that's real. So you've made it through your first 30 days. What happens next? The benefits continue. As long as you keep taking creatine, your muscle stores stay elevated, your strength stays up, your recovery stays fast, your brain stays sharp. But the real magic happens over months, not days. Those extra reps you're getting, they add up. Over 6 months, that's hundreds of additional high-quality reps. Over a year, thousands. And those reps translate into real muscle growth. Creatine doesn't build muscle directly. It gives you the ability to train harder and recover faster. And that's what builds muscle. Is it safe long-term? Yes. Creatine is one of the most studied supplements in history. Hundreds of studies over decades have confirmed its safety for healthy individuals. There's no evidence of kidney damage, liver damage, or any other serious side effects in people without pre-existing health conditions. The only consistent side effects are water retention and occasional stomach discomfort, both manageable. If you have kidney issues or other health concerns, consult a doctor before starting. But for the average healthy person, creatine is as safe as it gets. How much should you take? After saturation, 3 to 5 grams per day is enough to maintain elevated creatine levels. Some people take up to 10 grams, but research suggests there's no additional benefit beyond 5 grams daily for most people. Timing doesn't matter much. Take it whenever it's convenient. Pre-workout, post-workout, with breakfast. It all works. Consistency is what matters. Let's be honest about what creatine can and can't do. Build muscle by itself. You still need to train hard. Replace a proper diet and training program. Cause dramatic fat loss or muscle gain in 30 days. Creatine is a performance enhancer, not a magic pill. It gives you a small edge, but that edge compounds over time. And in a sport where every rep counts, a small edge is worth everything. If you're not training consistently, eating enough protein, and sleeping well, creatine won't save you. But if you're doing those things, creatine takes your results to the next level. So what actually happens after 30 days of creatine? Your muscles get stronger, your recovery speeds up, your brain gets sharper, and you gain a small but significant edge in every workout. It's not dramatic, it's not overnight, but it's real. And over months and years, that edge adds up to serious results. If you're serious about maximizing your performance and building real strength, hit that subscribe button. We're cutting through the supplement hype and giving you what actually works.
Disclaimer: not medical advice. Consult a doctor. Individual results may vary.
We need to adjust your fitness regimen to focus more on cardiovascular health, as indicated here on the chart.
I see. So less weight training for now.